this whole mission just not to pay $100,000 in taxes.
$100,000 is a lot of money. I have a client that is doing a 1031 exchange. And a 1031 exchange is basically a strategy that allows you to sell an investment property and buy another investment property with the same value or higher and defer the payment of capital gain taxes. So for people that are constantly flipping properties, they buy a property went up on value, they already got a lot of money out of it on cash flow and gains, they can sell that property. Let's say you buy for 100 and you sell for 800. If you don't do the correct way, you are going to pay taxes on those 400,000 gains, which is called capital gain taxes, and if I'm not mistaken it's 15%. But if you buy another property that is also an investment property, cannot be your primary home, cannot be a vacation, like a place that you go second home, needs to be strictly for investment. If you buy another one with the same value or higher, you don't need to pay that capital gain. And that's very good because basically you are reinvesting the money that you were going to give the government. So in the next one, let's say you buy for 800 or you buy two properties for 400, and on the course of 5-10 years they go to 800 again. So now you started with $400,000 back then and now you have $1.6 million and you never paid capital gains. So as long as you keep doing that, you can increase your real estate portfolio without paying capital gain taxes. And today I have a client that is doing this 1031 exchange, and they need to point to the IRS the properties that they want to buy or they're looking to buy by this Friday. So we're going to take a look in 4 properties today to see if they are good for them, for my clients, so they can do that in postpone taxes. So what I do, I check the property and I check the numbers. If the numbers today make a little bit of sense, then I go to see the comparables for rents. How much are the rents on that area? And that's how I came
96th Street.
Yeah. So that's how I get to these numbers. So this is how the property is today and how it could be with the new rent. So in this one they are renting for $3,200 and I saw the comparables is $35. So you can today the cap rate 723 goes to 773. That doesn't change a lot, but if you sell the property with a cap, if you renovate the property, and by renovating is painting and cleaning. There's nothing much to do with it. And you sell the property, yeah. Exactly. If you sell the property with a cap rate of 6%, with this new revenue, the potential valuation is for 1.1 million. So that's what I look.
How did you? Okay, so how did you get to the 1.1?
It's basically how much money he's making now, 67,000, and with a cap rate of 6%. So I divide the 67 by 6%.
So you really do the work.
Yes. Yeah, so if someone invests, let's say we change the rent for 3,500, and let's consider that the expenses is about 20%, because on those multifamilies is more or less that, with insurance, with property tax, and usually some kind of utility. If someone pays 1.1 million and they are making this, they are getting 6% return, which is not terrible.
So what you're telling me is that in 2 or 3 years, I can sell this property for at least $1 million. Not even one.
If we manage to put the rents on this amount, yes.
Well, what if I leave them at this amount? Can I still sell it for $1 million?
Then I think it's more difficult, because you're going to have to reduce a lot the cap rate for a property that is not that good. You need to do some improvements.
I just find it so hard. I want to see where this is, because I find it so hard to believe that somebody can afford, not will, can afford to pay $3,500 in that neighborhood.
It's a 3-bedroom. Sometimes they go in 2-3 people and they split the rent between the people that live there. I saw other properties there around 400 something, but trash, completely trash.
And then your voice is in my head. Don't look at what they bought it for. Look at what the future. I don't live in the past.
Yeah, because it depends what you wanna do. Depends
By the way,
what
you're a
you wanna
great
do.
buyer's agent by doing that.
Yeah.
You're an amazing buyer's agent. So being a buyer's agent, you have to do that for a client to say, wow, this person really cares, rather than sending me 20 properties.
My last client, from the first deal we did together to the second, he replaced everybody except me. He replaced the title company, he replaced the lender, he replaced the insurance guy, he replaced the surveyor, but the realtor was Daniel.
It's this work that you do, and I think that you learned this when you were an investor on how you
Yes,
needed to see
exactly.
it.
And that's what when I start like dedicating myself more as a realtor, I put my hat as a realtor and my hat as a developer. Okay, when I was a developer, what did I complain about the realtors? Because the realtor will do that. Hey, I want to build a building, I need land, and they just threw me like 50 lands, and I had to do all the hard work.
Right.
Which is finding out how much can I build, how much is the cost, how much is this. Okay, if I have that knowledge, I'm gonna help people to do it, because I don't want to put groups of investors together anymore and do the building, but I still have all the knowledge, so I can transfer this to investors, which most of the agents don't do.
They don't even know how to do it.
No, they don't.
I don't know how to do that. I only know how to get the cap rate.
And
most realtors don't even know how to get the cap rate.
And when I was a developer, when I am working as a developer, when I was working as a developer, I got a lot of conversation with the agents. This guy doesn't know anything what he's saying. Because Daniel, I have a lot that you can make 100%. And I started a conversation. No, I can't, but tell me why. And then he went through the numbers and said, yeah, this is your mistake. You are giving me the sales square footage, the price per square foot to sell, and you are utilizing the same square footage to build, and it's not. Because when I built balconies, I built shafts, I built staircases, I built pool, and nothing of that is sold under the price per square foot. So when I adjust, you're going to see that you are going to lose money in this land. And I will do the numbers and I will send back to the realtor, this land loses money. If I buy as a developer, I'm going to lose money because you got your calculations wrong. So,
but that's the whole thing. Most realtors don't know how to do the calculation.
Exactly, and that's, I think, is my advantage.
A huge advantage. If I have a buyer that's a developer, an investor, I would definitely put him in your hands, because I was very impressed when you sent that. And I wanted to ask you, was that a software, or did you really take the time to do that?
The software is Daniel Jevaux.
Well,
so
we'll see.
this one, the first one that we are going to see is 424 a door. Comparables in the area, as I told you, the comparables are half price, but they are terrible. Like if you want to raise the rent, you're going to have to put a lot of money, and then you can do this. You can buy for 400,000. Maybe you put 150 grand on it to do a renovation in the same. That is that one that is super pretty, and maybe you can flip it for 850 or even more.
I
So
have
it depends
to hold
what you
it
want.
legally for 2 years. I'm stuck with this for 2 years. That's why I asked you, can I sell this in 3 years?
So if you don't, in the end, it depends. All depends of your end goal. Like if you don't want a headache, you're going to pay more for a better conditions property.
I can't handle a headache. I don't have the help.
So you have two options. You buy something that is brand new, like this one,
Right.
or you just hire someone to take care for you.
I'm not hiring anyone, because then my profits are going there. I'm not hiring somebody. I'll figure out how to fix the plumbing and the electrical by half.
You make more money selling multi-million-dollar houses than fixing the plumbing. You're going to save $500, and that's going to take 3 hours of your week. In 3 hours of your week, you'll make much more money.
Yes, you're right.
It's not the what, it's the who.
This whole mission, just not to pay $100,000 in taxes.
$100,000 is a lot of money.
It is a lot of money. That's why this has been.
It's
my main focus.
$100,000 less to reinvest in something. And I don't believe how many people don't do it. I have clients that they buy and sell, and they never heard about 1031.
I can't even touch the money. There's so many rules
Yeah,
to
there
it.
you need to send to an agent.
Yeah, I haven't. Yeah, I'm following all the instructions. I am like over cautious because you do one step wrong.
Yeah, you lose
and
everything.
You lose everything.
Yeah.
So I'm asking attorneys. I'm asking the stalker service people. Everything.
The stalker service is
the number one company.
Is the
people
the
who are
agent?
holding, yeah.
Okay.
And if I don't exercise my thing, all I lose is $800, $750, which is very fair. It's fine.
Paying $700 to save $100,000 it's a good deal.
Very good. So this building.
This little one, the yellow one. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I saw this 5 years ago. I like this. I've been looking at this area for. I'm in America for 7 years, so I'm looking for this area for 7 years.
Really?
However, when I got here, prices that people were asking about for this area were Bay Harbor prices, and this is no close to Bay Harbor for many reasons. But now that Bay Harbor went up so much, this one is starting to make sense, because for me, from the islands in Biscayne Bay, this is the last one that needs to be developed. Everything else is Bay Harbor. Indian Creek is Indian Creek. You have the Sunset Islands. You have Normandy Isles. The last one is this, because this was Bay Harbor 10 years ago.
That would be interesting for you to look up who owns that and approach them, because that's a yummy lot.
This was Bay Harbor when I got here. And they start to buy all those little buildings, demolish and build new ones. And when I got to Bay Harbor, they were doing a historical preservation thing, and a lot of buildings in Bay Harbor were being nominated as historical. So there was a huge lobby. Even the one where they are building Onda, before, the guys who built Sereno in Bay Harbor, they were going to build there with Pininfarina. Pininfarina was going to be the designer of the building. And they went through a huge fight with the Miami Beach board, because Bay Harbor doesn't have its own board, so it's Miami Beach Historical Board. And they won, and once they won, they sold to Hugo Colombo, and Hugo Colombo is doing Onda now. But it was a huge fight to get that thing done. I think the rents are going to stabilize a little bit, and there are currently 10,000 units, rental units being built in Miami. So once that hits the market, it's going to relieve the pressure.
And what time frame do you think that's going to
be? In the next 18 months, with all the buildings. In downtown there's a couple, there's a few, one, and there's other buildings being built. So I think Miami is the third city in America with most rental units being built. So that's going to relieve a little bit.
And someone asked me the other day, do you think that there's a reason and a demand for all these buildings? And I think absolutely yes.
Yes, because who is buying is not like the cycle from 2008 to 2012, the last development cycle. People who were buying there were the Argentinians, the Brazilians, the South Americans in general, when the dollar was 1.5. It was cheaper to buy. I remember it was cheaper to buy an apartment here. I was getting out of the college, I couldn't afford it, but it was cheaper to buy here than buy in São Paulo, the most expensive city in Brazil. So a lot of people were buying here, and once everything was developed, everybody was selling, because the dollar went against Brazilian reais, went from 180 to 4. So people were making money on the dollar. So if you see the sales of condos between 2015 and 2017-18 was like, didn't change. In 2017, when Trump passed the new law, the new tax law, then sales start to go up, because people from the north buying to live here, to have at least the fiscal domicile.
So I was in a panel, the July 27th that you went to, and a couple of the people that were there were telling me that all the Colombians are coming and buying up. And last week and this week I've been looking at units in Brickell Key, And all the agents, the listing agents have told me we've had so many Colombians come and look. Do you have access to Colombians?
I do have to Colombia.
You should go after the Colombians.
Yeah,
They're coming over here.
I was thinking about the girl that I am with is Colombian. She's going this week, but she's going for 4 days, so it's going to be rush. But I am marketing Colombia.
You were thinking of going with her to market?
Yeah.
I think that's a very good idea.
I'm going to, but before I'm going to invest a little bit more in marketing there, so I can get a concise group.
Or better yet, since she's gonna be there, ask her just to take a picture or the names of real estate companies that
She already
sees.
put me in contact with a realtor.
Perfect. And say that you want to have a collaboration.
Yeah. So that's my inner fight, because I have all this knowledge, but I really want to go to residential.
I think you are. I think you're doing both.
Yeah, that's the point.
What's your background? You went to school for
Economics.
Economics. So that's why all this comes so natural to you.
Yeah, I did economics and I did master in investment management. Metal stairs, save money.
Smaller, don't know.
I think so.
Parking, too much. But it has all this nice yard to do what?
You can put a pool.
Like they're both in share.
You can put a pool, do another little house like that. Probably they didn't because of this tree.
The tree's nice.
Yeah, probably you cannot take it out down.
It's a huge tree.
Septic tank. But it's good, this kind of property, you're making less return, but you're not like concerned about anything. Everything is new, there's nothing to break. And anything that breaks has warranty probably, so.
The same with the one that we just last saw.
Yeah?
The game, play is which area is better. Which area would appreciate more in 2 years to sell?
This area already had in the last years like some increase. The other one has more to come. That's how I see it.
Drive around. I like this area more. I just really